I tried for 4 fucking years, from 91 to 97, to say, can't we just work something out? You know, I mean, this wasn't something I wanted to do. This was like the last thing I wanted to do, you know? But it was right is right, and I'm willing to, you know, just show me some, you know, some humanity, you know, just a little compassion, you know, and maybe just help me out, settle with me, you know, just something that to make all of this just have been worth it for me, you know. And they said no, and they hurt me deeply, 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 fucking deeply. There was nowhere to go but to file this lawsuit.
I feel bad for you.
It's all right, you know. It's just part of life, and there's nothing to feel bad for. You just, it's part of my story, you know. And there's just nothing you can do about it. So
It's you that I feel bad for.
it's all right. That's all right. You don't have to feel bad. There's nothing to feel bad about. You know, I'm leaving you guys with a lot of music, and you know, who knows what's coming? That's the best part, right?
Now, do you have interest in putting out some new music?
The one thing that has saved me through 20 years, I'll tell you what, my friends that I love dearly crucified me. So I was crucified. I died and I was buried in that courthouse on Hill Street in Los Angeles by one judge that wanted to make sure he had a headstone that said, "Here lies Vinnie Vincent. Fuck you, Vinnie." That was what that lawsuit. You know, that was the final ruling on my lawsuit. But I rose again, so I'm here. And the miracle that I survived that lawsuit was probably as miraculous as surviving what happened to me in 1984. And I just put it behind me. We eventually settled everything that we had between us, all the problems, about 7 years ago. But I was in hell for 20 years, and it was my hell. Nobody knew it. And I saw the world going by. I saw what everybody was saying about me. I saw what everybody in the band was saying about me, and I said, what a shame, you know? What a shame. There was no reason for it. I mean, we could have had, in my opinion, such a fucking great band, you know? And, you know, we still can, because that magic never ends. I still love them. I mean, it's never gonna go away. So when you respect, and I do dearly respect Gene and Paul with all my heart, I love them, and I always will. They gave me this. With the good came the bad, but the magic that we have together never dies. Because when I didn't see them from 84 to 91, 91 was our first meeting again after Vinnie Vincent Invasion. And Gene said, we're recording a new record. I think I saw Gene in a recording studio. And give us a call, let's work together. I said, I'd love to see you. And then Revenge happened, and those songs. And it was, I said, this is the moment, you know? This is the band, this is it, you know? Unholy was Gene and I, that was our baby. Paul and I wrote 2 songs, and we worked together for a year on that record. And it was, you know, another fun time. I mean, every time we worked together, it was just a joy. The magic, it's something that I can't put into words. Magic is not the right word for it, because it's electric, you know, when you just, something that happens when you plug in something, and you know, there's electricity here, you know, and it just works. So it turned out to be a great record and a lot of music that I'm proud of. So Never say never, never say die.
I want to ask you, leading up to this, the biggest thing that I heard from fans was they said, "We just want to know that Vinny's okay."
I'm okay now. I wasn't okay for a long time, you know. I had a really bad marriage, second marriage, and
can we talk about the? I think that was a big thing for a lot of fans is when they saw that fucking mugshot.
well, it was a fucking mugshot. It was horrible. It was like the worst thing. It was a day that was surreal, you know. Even to this day, it was like that didn't really happen, did it? But it was so surreal, and it was the culmination of 15, 17 years of two people that should not have been together. But if I could, I think I could end it there, but I don't think it explains enough. It's certainly not something that I would be happy with if I left you right now, not explaining and not telling you from my eyes, from my side of that story of what happened. I wouldn't be happy if I didn't let you hear it from me, because you deserve to hear it. I won't mention any names because I think it's not right, but the person I was married to began the marriage as a beautiful, really beautiful girl, really normal, you know, apple pie, you know, type of, you know, beauty, you know, and but a really, really nice person, and somebody I wanted in my life, you know. It's not like you marry somebody that is, you know, you hate. You marry somebody that you're attracted to, and she began to take a medication, and she took it too long, and it began to transform. In my opinion, she began to transform. And then she began to drink, and it was every day, and it was more and more and more and more and more. And we lived in this really secluded place. There was no money coming in. She worked, and this lawsuit was consuming me, and everything was just, you know, crumbling. It was just like watching the sinkhole just suck everything down. And she got more hateful, more violent, more drunk. And I say this to you because I've never had a chance to defend myself, and I watched everybody just accuse me of the worst things I've ever been, you know, thought I could be accused of, which weren't true. Everybody always says, everybody who's accused says, I'm innocent, I didn't do it. And it wasn't until something happened to me like this that I realized what that really means. So people can accuse you of something, and that didn't happen. But because the world is what it is, you're guilty. You've done this. And that's what I found myself in the middle of. So over the years, the situation got so violent that this person bought a gun. And with the drinking that was happening, the medication that was transforming this poor soul, I watched her. I tried so hard to help her, to take her out of this world, and I got her off the medication, but it was too late. And the drinking just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and the violence got worse. Until it was January, February of 2011. And I had asked her to leave the house. We had two houses on this one big piece of land, and I said, you have to leave here, or I'll leave, something. But I can't live under the same roof here because one day you're going to turn around and use your gun on me and kill me. So, this is really personal, so I hope you appreciate how, this is not something I would tell anybody, but I'm telling you, it's going on the internet, but I think I'm doing it for the reason that I have to. If I don't tell you now, then this is always going to live back there and it's never going to be cleansed. And I said to myself, I want to do this so this is cleansed and it's finally put to rest and it's finally explained without you people saying, I wonder if you really did that, And I said, no, I'm not gonna let you leave. I'm not gonna even show up if I'm not able to tell you what really happened. Because if I don't tell you, you're still gonna think that, You're still gonna question it. Did you do it or did you not or whatever? Whatever it was I was accused of doing, So, the dogs. This is part of what leads to that day of that mugshot. Now the dogs, these were my babies. Okay, I was a kid that wanted dogs and cats and all animals. My dad loved animals, but we lived in an apartment. And we lived on Archie Bunker Street, 3-family house. Couldn't have a cat. Don't feed the cats, because they keep coming, Don't feed the dog, they keep going. Well, why not, But it was the landlord. You can't do it, so okay. Anyway, so during the 90s, during the 90s, we began to rescue and adopt all these abused animals. And if any dog, was having a bad day, come on home. So we had as many as we could take, and we rescued everything we could rescue until the drinking got real bad. And then once the drinking got bad, everything else got bad, real bad. So when the violence was at its peak, I said, you need to move out until you can either stop this or pull yourself together, or this relationship completely ends. But you cannot live here, or I will not live here. But you're not capable of taking care of these animals, so I'm caring for everybody, and that's fine. So she had picked another place to live, and now we had 3 or 4 dogs that were, big dogs. They were just, Dobermans, those kind of dogs. And they could not be out at the same time. The little ones were out. And you had to really be conscious of this. Otherwise, what eventually happened would have happened. So she came, I remember this, my God, it was horrible. On a Saturday, I think it was in February, she came back 3 Saturdays in a row, from middle of February to the 1st of March. 3 Saturdays in a row. So every 7 days during 3 weeks, 3 weeks in a row, she would come back on a Saturday, drunk, violent, and angry, and ready to make hell on earth, come to life. And she'd break, just force her way into the house. Got into the house, and literal hell would just break, completely unearth itself. And I was just left dazed of, how the fucking hell can I survive this any longer? So I'd be upstairs, and she'd leave downstairs, through the downstairs door. And